start recording right now. And yeah, welcome to Apartment Theater. We're missing Danny because Danny's got some stuff going on. So
Dude,
yeah.
I think that's the first time we actually cued in on time. Perfect timing.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna ruin it by pointing it out.
Oh my god.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was
So
great.
yeah, we're doing. We didn't really like put it in the month quite,
What's a
but
month? Time is
it
objective. It's fine.
think of it as part 3 of artsy fartsy month.
Yeah, art house horror.
I think artsy
Cause
fartsy month is
I think artsy fartsy month is good. I mean,
because
dead bodies fart, so it's fine.
so far these movies have been fartsy for us.
They've been so far.
We have not liked any of the movies so far.
The first two we certainly didn't, which
Uh,
was
Personal Shopper and
Possum.
Possum. Yeah,
I feel like I wanted to like Possum for a little bit there, but it just kind of eh.
that's how Personal Shopper and Possum have been for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're close, but not quite.
Um
And
how do you feel about this movie? You said you didn't have a whole lot to say, so how do you feel about it?
well, I lied. I kind of have a lot to say.
Okay. That's fine.
So the house that Jack built. This is a Lars von Trier movie, and if
Mhm.
you are unfamiliar with Lars von Trier, I don't know, Cass, if you've seen any of his movies before.
Mm.
He has directed such movies as Melancholia,
Mm.
Antichrist with Willem Dafoe, Dogville that has Nicole Kidman, Melancholia has Kirsten Dunst in it,
Oh, we
Dancer in the
see I
Dark.
think clips of those movies in this movie. A few of
Yes, we
them.
do.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the part where I start to dog on this guy.
Yeah. Mhm.
He also made a movie called Nymphomaniac, which is like 4 hours long and is fucking awful.
Mm.
I've hated every single one of his movies that I've seen so far, which I've only seen Antichrist, Dancer in the Dark, and Nymphomaniac. Antichrist is up its own asshole the entire time. Some of the visuals are cool, but most of the time it's just, do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see how disturbing and disgusting it is? And I'm like, yes, Lars,
Yeah.
I see it. I understand. I get it. I get it. Dancer in the Dark is misery porn. Look at society taking advantage of this poor, helpless, going blind woman. I'm like, yep, that sucks. But this is so comically like stupid that I'm losing my mind. Nymphomaniac, isn't it fucked up how much we always want to have sex? I guess, but also you're really up your own ass again, and the dialogue is so like pseudo intellectual. That was the word that I was trying to find. This is going to be me
Mm.
ranting about this guy. I fucking
That's fine.
hate him. Okay. I hate Lars von Trier, at least the movies that I have seen so far, because all of them are
Does
pseudo intellectual,
does that
up
include
my
this
own
movie?
ass. And I would say the house that Jack built is another one of his fucking movies that are so far up his own asshole. Isn't it so crazy? Like, isn't making art kind of like being a serial killer? No, Lars. No, it is fucking not. It is not
Mhm.
like that at all. Let me tell you, you're so stupid. You're so annoyingly stupid. And how you think you're smart makes you more stupid.
Mhm.
Oh my god. There's so many times where you're just like, what if you just showed this instead of being
Mhm.
so, what's the word that I'm looking for? Condescending almost in
Yeah.
a way. Like you almost make it
It,
seem like I'm not gonna understand unless you
it's very
clearly
pedantic.
spell it. It's pedantic.
It's
That's
it's
what
very
that word
very
means.
pedantic.
It's so it's like
It's pretentious.
it's
Yeah.
now I will give credit where credit is due. There are some really cool visuals,
There are.
especially towards the end where you go
Mhm.
into like hell and stuff.
Mhm.
Like that looks cool.
Yeah.
Um, the actors in it are great.
Mhm. And Uma
Matt
Thurman's in
Dillon,
this.
I mean Matt Dillon is stupendous. Uma
Yeah.
Thurman's in it as
Mhm.
well. Um, some of the interactions are so baffling to me. You're like, how would you not think this guy was a murderer?
Oh, I so I think that's intentional because it's like being told from his perspective. So he's just because they even say that in the film, like every woman that you interact with is like stupid. So do you see yourself as like superior to women? And it's like a commentary on like misogyny and blah blah blah.
It's a commentary on Lars.
Yeah.
He wrote the. Just want to say it too.
Yeah.
He wrote the script. It's written and directed by Lars.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, because you know how like eyewitness accounts. Wow. Okay. Aren't like super reliable, and like anytime you tell a story, it's not gonna be like perfect. We were getting his take on it, so of course he's gonna tell it like the women are stupid, and like are just like badgering him and being annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, because there was I don't the second chapter, the second story or whatever, where it's the lady from Men in Black.
Was she in Men in Black?
Yeah, she's the cockroach's wife.
The sugar water thing?
The sugar water, yeah.
I love that that's what you found for this. I was like, she kind of looks familiar, but I don't know what it's for.
I like knew immediately.
It would have been really funny if he would have asked for sugar water, but then
it really would.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, because that like entire interaction, I'm like, you can literally see her like staring at him, like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like what is happening here? And then like she still manages to let him in, but then like I remembered people talking about how, who was it, Ted Bundy was like easily talked his way into like to women or whoever. I fucking can't remember, but like they
thought that he was hot, right?
I guess he was supposed to be like good looking. He was just an average looking white dude. That's all it takes. And so
I'm not a serial killer.
Like I'm assuming that's kind of what that was a nod to, was like how easily it is for like a generic white guy who's like kind of good looking to like talk their way into your house, even though they're just like, you can tell they're spouting bullshit. Like especially back in the 70s, which I'm relatively certain that's when this is taking place, but I don't fucking know.
They were using landline phones, but also there wasn't really
there was no cell phones or anything, so 70s 80s something like that. Like I
a little easier to get something like this done.
Yeah. Also like the 70s and 80s, you know, we have at one point they talk about idolization and icons in the movie, and I feel like we have done that with multiple serial killers, and that's super fucking weird. I mean,
kind of like a combination of like Ted Bundy and like Dahmer, but he doesn't eat the people; he just puts them.
He makes them into a house in a freezer.
At the end, he does. Yeah, he has a freezer that has like old pizzas in it, and it was sad because I was like, man, I kind of want to try one of these pizzas.
No, you don't. Those were frostbitten pizzas. Gross. No.
I've eaten worse.
I mean, there's aspects of this film that I like. I do like the first, that we kind of like see him learn from his mistakes as a serial killer, and like he gets better at strangling people. Because like the first victim, he just hits with a jack. It's funny. It's meta. Anyway,
like the whole movie.
I know, the entire movie is just like weird meta bullshit. As Justin said, he's up his own ass about it.
Every single movie that I've seen of his so far is, look at me, I'm so smart. Doesn't this really challenge the way that you think? And it comes off as like a college kid who just got into film school.
You know what I was thinking? Speaking of college and film school, I was like, this is the type of movie that they show to college film students and tell them, okay, find all the symbolism in it, or like pick out the symbolism and blah blah blah, because there's at one point he talks about or they can see the Elysian fields, which are like the most amazing, beautiful, peaceful fields or whatever, in reference to like Greek mythology and blah blah blah. And there's all of this like goofy Greek symbolism and the layers of hell and blah blah
You're
blah.
so creative, Lars. Thank
Yeah,
you.
like wow, buddy.
I got the letterbox of his movies pulled up,
Mm-hmm.
and I just see his smug ass face, and I'm like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely met the people that this movie is meant for, and I have talked to them. What?
I said this movie's meant for teenagers.
It's not meant for teenagers. Well, certain teenagers, yeah.
I would say it's like a I'm 14 and this is deep kind of movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This movie,
It's
all of his movies are like that I've seen so far. Maybe some of his other ones, like I will keep trying, like just because I don't like one movie from a director doesn't mean I can't watch something else, because who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that one will do it for me. But so far, it has not. It has
Right.
not done that for me.
Yeah.
I hate the shaky cam shit. I feel really bad for
I
Matt
hate that
Dillon
too.
having to go into that cavern.
Yeah. I mean, there's part of me that was okay with some of the shaky cam because it almost felt like disassociation to me.
Yeah.
So like I get all the symbology and stuff that's like happening in there and the metaphors and blah blah blah. It's
He's like shoving it in your fucking face.
yeah, he's really like just hitting the nail on the head with a lot of this shit, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Like you're not letting me like drift into your symbolism. You're just like, dude.
You're just putting it there. Well, there's like literally a clear scene that's like I know it's from a painting, and I think it's like them going down the river Styx or something like that, where they're like all the souls are hanging onto the boat and blah blah blah. And he's in the red robe and all this shit. I think that's what the painting is. I'm not totally sure. I'm sure somebody knows what it is, and I could probably Google it, but
Google it right now. You said River of Styx.
yeah, but it's
it is.
yeah, okay. Yeah. It's funny that I somehow remember that. Oh, that's because I took art history. Haha.
So if anyone knows about bullshit symbolism, you're gonna know it.
It's me. Literally everything comes down to food and sex. That's all you need to know. Everything comes down to food and sex. Those are your two basic needs for survival.
Yeah, honestly.
That's it. Yeah, food and sex.
We created our own.
That's it. That's the whole
Artificial
artwork.
means.
That's the whole thing. Food and sex. Everything else is arbitrary and just whatever. Some people could argue, what about shelter? I mean, ultimately, if you're getting sex, you're probably also going to get shelter in conjunction with that. Same thing with food. Like, I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. This movie feels like the kind of movie that, yeah, a college, class would have to analyze and pick it apart, like, scene by scene to find all the symbolism in it and what it means. And their teacher would be like, every single detail in a scene has a purpose. You need to tell me what it is. I had an English teacher like that, and I was like, why can't the curtains just be blue? Why do they have to have a meaning?
The same thing when we talk about like symbolism in like literature and stuff, and you're just like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Can I please move on? I get it.
Yeah, I'm like, why? Like, sometimes the author just wanted something, a particular color for no fucking particular reason, and that's fine.
It looked cool. That's it.
They're painting us a picture. That's all they're supposed to be doing. Anyway,
like I think that art obviously can have meaning and stuff to it too.
Yeah.
Like there comes a certain point like, and yeah, I think there's sometimes where like a not subtle art is good too,
Mhm.
but there's sometimes where it just meanders and becomes just like a joke to everybody. Like this
Yeah.
is stupid. This like it seems to be like a real love it or hate it kind of
Mhm.
movie. People that praised it are like, this is one of the
Mhm.
best horror movies I've ever seen. It's so intellectual, and then I'm on the side of this dude. Probably will tell you how you can clean out your body with toxins or whatever the fuck, or clean it out.
He's an
So
anti-vaxxer.
I don't know if he is. I wouldn't go that far, but I would.
Oh,
That
but he.
he seems like the kind of person that would tell me about some pseudo bullshit. And I'll be like, "Yep,
Oh
that's
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah."
Yeah. I get that vibe from
But yeah,
this.
so the movie itself, yeah, it's broken up in like seven parts. Because
Mhm.
six parts? Is it
I.
five incidents or six incidents?
It's 5, I think.
Okay, five incidents and then an epilogue.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he just goes around murdering people, and
Mhm. Stumbles his
uh,
way through it. Gets better
stump.
at it.
Yeah, there's one scene where the second incident where he takes the body out, and I'm like, how did you not see that there's a body in the bush next to the van? And then he because there's a cop that talks to him, and I'm like, dude, you could have just drove away at any point. And then like the more you keep talking to this cop, the more suspicious you look.
I know, right?
Like, what are you what are you doing?
It's
It's
just.
insanity to
Mhm.
see this. And then he drives off with her attached to the back. I'm like, that cop definitely would have been looking out the window
Mhm.
when you left, because he'd be like, "You're so fucking weird. I'm definitely gonna make sure that you don't have, like, really, you
Yeah.
tied it up to the back of the van and dragged it across town. Yeah,
Mhm.
no one's gonna see that. Also, you
Apparently
steal
nobody
a
did.
cop car. You stole a cop car and you just kept the fucking
I
sirens
know.
on.
Well,
What are
that's the
you
thing, Justin. They
doing?
they explained it to us why he does that because he wants to get caught. That's the problem with this entire fucking movie. Like we're going through this like weird narrative with a subconscious like moral something
Yeah.
um called Verge. Right? That was his name. I don't fucking remember.
Sure.
Um and Verge like basically fucking explains all of the symbolism. And I'm like, can we just can we come to those conclusions? Are you afraid that like we're not going to get it because like
He does this in another movie, and it's Nymphomaniac. It's two characters talking to each other, and it's like, oh, it's like the rabbit and the fox, and I'm like, shut the fuck up,
mm,
shut up. And they do the same exact thing here. It's like the story of the tiger and the lamb. The lamb is presented as innocence,
innocent
and the
and
tiger that has the need to kill, and we're suppressing ourselves of the need to kill. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
mhm.
There's another point too where they're talking about like, here's two, like, it almost feels like I'm having like a math equation told to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, okay, so like there's two street lamps, and as I'm walking, my shadow is
Oh.
big. I feel bigger than myself. And as I approach the other one, I realize that I'm small. And I'm like, wow, Lars, you're so smart. Shut the fuck up. You could have just showed that. You didn't have
Mhm.
to tell me that.
Yeah.
You could have had a scene of him walking and him noticing his shadow. You could have just shut the fuck up and not made this
Mhm.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, he basically literally just described uh adrenaline like
Yeah.
thrill sinking
Yeah.
and what that does to your body. Like that's all he fucking described. I'm like,
Cool.
great.
Thanks.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it, I guess. Or
Uh,
dopamine or serotonin, like any of those like happy chemicals that happen in your brain and your body. Like, I don't know. This movie was visually beautiful in a lot of shots.
The house looked cool.
Yeah,
Honestly.
the house looked cool.
He
I
does a super jump cut of all of his movies, by the way. Did you notice
yeah,
that? I was like,
yeah,
wait a minute, that was an
yeah,
Antichrist. Wait a minute, that was an Infomaniac. You son of a bitch, I hate you. How dare you? It's like the way
yeah.
that we make art, and he just has a super cut of all of his movies. I'm like, fuck off, Lars. Shut up.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This movie's secretly about me. Is it?
Really?
Oh, you're fucking.
Wow.
You need to go to therapy then.
Yeah, bud, go to therapy, please. Everybody needs a therapist.
Yeah, that lady.
Even if you don't think you need a therapist, you definitely need a therapist.
The one that he was calling simple. I'm like, that lady should have ran away.
I know. I was like, wait, how did you guys end up together?
Yeah, that. Same with the family that he kills. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, like the third one, it's like a family, and he brings them out, and he's like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show you." Like,
How did that
the
even
way that
happen?
the way that he's describing everything too, I'm like, "Ma'am, you need to go."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
Please leave. Vacate the vicinity. Like, what?
yeah, no,
No
and
survival instincts, these people.
but yeah, no. That's every time that they're showing like all these people, I'm like, dude, I cannot imagine that you actually had these experiences. Like, how in the world did you,
Mm-hmm.
like, he's like, oh, I trained myself to try to be like
Oh, yeah.
a real human. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, to mimic. I mean, that's what psychopaths. Is that the one?
Like narcissists and stuff.
Yeah,
That's,
because there's sociopath and there's psychopath, and I believe they are different. And I can't remember the difference, but like, I know that psychologists have talked about. I think it's psychopaths that like you can always tell a psychopath because there's like nothing in their eyes. Like, yeah, they can like mimic emotions, but like their eyes can give them away because there's nothing there. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I've seen people like that.
you know, something I was thinking about, because, you know, you and I have worked in retail.
Yeah.
How many murders do you think we've come in contact with?
Oh yeah, there's a statistic somewhere that I can't remember what it is, but you walk past or like encounter X amount of serial killers in your life or some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, glad I dodged some of
Serial
those.
killers need a phone. Serial killers
Yeah.
need
Mm-hmm.
groceries
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so many people are like, oh, how could working in retail or customer service be bad? And like, because you deal with
People.
some legitimately horrifying
Mhm.
people. And they're like, oh, well, you can just suck it up. And it's like,
No.
you deal with them.
You deal with them. Yeah.
You deal with them then. Because fuck this shit. I'm
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I learned what a Full Metal Jacket bullet was. I didn't know what that was.
Mhm.
I didn't know what a Full Metal Jacket. I didn't know there was different bullets in
Yes.
general. I
Yeah.
had no idea because
Mhm.
I'm not a bullet guy. I'm not really a gun connoisseur.
Mhm.
Shocking, I know.
I have limited knowledge of bullet types and things like that, and
I thought all bullets were the same. And I was wrong.
calibers.
That is a thing.
Gauge.
Sure, those are gun things.
Yeah, those are gun words.
Yeah.
June's not sitting at their desk, otherwise I'd be like, what are
Shannon,
what are
what's up,
gun
buddy?
words? Yeah. No, I know like some of them. I know how a bullet's made. Thanks, how it's made.
From
Um,
the bullet place.
from the bullet place. Also, I did take a hunting class when I was a teenager because when I was 16, I told my dad that I wanted to learn how to shoot, um, and like familiarize myself with guns. And this was when like zombies started like popping off, like the zombie
Again.
craze really started to like popping off again. Yeah. Um, and
It's
so
like
there
every
was
10 to 15 years we get
yeah,
a zombie craze pop up.
yeah, and so there was like the survival instinct in my brain was like I should know how to use guns. Um, so I told my dad, and my dad was like, "That's great. We're gonna take a hunting class." The way a parent should respond when their child is like, "Hey, I want to learn how to use guns. Gun safety first."
Let's see.
Um,
My little goth emo daughter wants to learn how to use a gun.
yeah.
Hmm.
But it was cool. It was like a 2-day class. We learned some gun safety stuff and just like general knowledge about guns and all that kind of stuff. And then I think I shot like a 22 rifle, like a couple of times, and then I never got to shoot anything else again.
I shot guns with
So
my friend Spencer. He had a
yeah,
multitude of guns, and I'm like, why do you have all of these?
yeah,
Like, I want to get more. I'm like, why?
yeah. Why?
He just does.
He
It's
just
his
does.
thing.
Yeah,
He likes guns
we have
and magic. He likes to spend money,
he
apparently.
likes to spend money. That's okay. You can do that.
He makes more money than me, so I don't care what he
Yeah,
does.
as long as you're not hurting anybody, it's fine.
He's just hurting his wallet.
Just
with
his
the
wallet,
magic
yeah,
card.
that's fine.
Yeah.
We have a shooting range that's actually like maybe a 5-minute drive from here. June and I have talked about going up there and practicing and stuff. I want to shoot like a little handgun, like some kind of pistol, because
I
I've
was
only
thinking-
shot rifles, so.
Because you were saying hunting.
Mhm.
Like, I took a hunting class and I was taking a cunting class. So it
Oh.
was me wearing fake nails, long eyelashes, and my phone was a razor phone. I would clap it at people. And so then I was thinking, like, during the hunting class,
Mhm.
that you have a little gun, but you're like real sassy about it.
Yeah, it's pink.
It's like, yeah, this is my little pink bedazzled gun,
Yes.
and I'm just shooting it.
Mhm. That's
But,
what the
like,
liberals want.
I'm giving like an attitude the
Mhm.
entire time to like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm shooting the gun, whatever. It's like
I'm shooting a gun.
I'm serving cunt right now.
I'm serving cunt.
I love that that's a thing now.
Serving cunt.
I
Mhm.
love it. It's
Yeah.
it's easily one of my favorite things. And there's a
Mhm.
TikTok thing that came up where it was just like, nothing is cunty anymore. I'm like, you're right, nothing is.
Mhm.
We need to bring it back.
Yeah, I believe we're totally off topic here now. Which is fine, whatever. We're just talking about TikTok. We'll circle back somewhere. There is a sex historian on TikTok that I watch, and apparently the word cunt is like one of, I think, like the first like word that actually meant like the female organs, and only meant the female organ. Like,
Now it's just like fuck, where it just means anything.
yeah, now just, yeah.
Or shit.
Or shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an animal and you say shit after it, it's, oh man, it's dog shit. It's terrible. It's
Mhm.
horse shit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like this movie. There you go. We circled back.
Yeah, we circled
Got it.
back. Yeah. So
I mean,
what's
it wasn't total horseshit. Like,
it's not
like
the
it was.
worst movie we've ever seen. I
No.
was able to get through it. I was just frustrated the whole time. It was a
Yeah.
different kind of like. It was a different kind of watch where it wasn't, oh, I'm so bored that I want to die. It was, yeah, this is cool and all, but holy fuck, could you stop?
Yeah. Like, the streetlight scene that we're talking about. That's like clearly this like motion picture of like a painting, or like pastels or something. I would have liked to have seen that like stacked on top of like his like roller coaster of emotions, like going through like killing somebody, having that like high, and then dipping down low because he hadn't, and then killing somebody again to get that high. Like that to me would have been a much better explanation than just fucking telling me and giving me the metaphor. This movie both showed and told you what it was doing. Painstakingly.
It's our second longest movie.
Really? That,
Yeah.
I guess that's why it took me so long. Because I usually try to give myself like 2-ish hours to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm an asshole and I never check how long a movie is. I just assume that it's somewhere between like an hour and a half.
I told you last week it was 2.5 hours.
Justin, when do I retain that knowledge?
You're right.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it took me so long. But
I was a little disappointed that we weren't going to hear Danny's opinion, because Danny,
yeah,
I guarantee you,
she would have hated this movie.
And she would have fast forward through so much of it.
I weirdly
think it was a bad pacing thing.
No, I don't think it was either. Like, it had fine pacing. Like, it had the elements of what could have been a good movie.
Yeah.
And like the narration was fine to a point, but like, I don't know, we didn't need the like psychoanalyst in there too. We didn't need the therapy session in there too. I don't think. Like,
yeah, which it turns out it's like a deaf person that he's
it's like I'm
randomly show up too.
I'm either assuming
he die. Like, he's dead, but like how?
I'm thinking he probably got shot by the cops because he had a gun in there with him. Because the cops fire some shots off.
Yeah.
And it hits the corpses behind him, and then he drops into the hole. So I'm assuming they probably shot him.
This movie wasn't as fucked up as I thought it was going to be.
Same!
Yeah, like, I was like this, because I was thinking back to the iceberg thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this was something at the same level as
Martyrs? Like, Martyrs is so much worse. And, like, more intense to me.
Yeah, we're gonna watch some of the more extreme horror movies.
Yeah, I mean, if this fucking movie was on there, like, because it's not even that.
On there too, but, like,
oh,
I would say Hereditary is a little more fucked up than this movie.
Yeah, I would actually agree.
Yeah,
like Hereditary has quite a bit more like disturbing scenes. I mean, I guess it is a little alarming to see a bunch of frozen bodies built into a house, or a house shape.
Cool, honestly.
Yeah, it did like weirdly look cool.
Yeah.
I did briefly read like
why
was we're circling back.
Well, I was gonna say, like, are we just immune to it? Like, I think Cannibal Holocaust, I know we keep bringing it up, but I think that movie for me was like, oh, I found it, my limit.
Yeah.
Actual animals being
so because I had a moment in this movie with the duckling. Yeah, I was like,
not have actually been hurt, or else I'm gonna fight.
Well, this movie was made in 2018. They're not allowed to do that. Like, it is against the law to do that now.
Still.
I literally like went back and rewatched that scene to see how he was holding the duckling to like literally make sure that there was enough space in his hand that he could have been like hiding the other leg, and there was like a prop leg sticking out. I literally went back and looked. Because the leg that he ends up like cutting off, it's not moving. If you've ever held like a duckling or a little chick or something, they're flipping those little legs all over the place.
You're gonna kill them.
Yeah, they're trying to get away. Like they're going nuts. So
I'm the same way when someone picks me up.
yeah, same. I don't like it. Don't touch me.
I think I have picked you up before you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're so light. So just like, oh, let me just. And I'm like, oh, I could just.
You can just chuck me over the wall. It's fine.
I can just throw you in the air like a baby.
Yeah. No, I read somewhere. Well, I read it on Google because I looked up this movie as one does. And there was like one of those like question things that was like, why is the house that Jack built controversial? And there was something in there about how it's a commentary on whether we actually like watching horror movies or not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, maybe make a good horror movie.
Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, no, I don't know that I like watching horror movies, but apparently I do it.
So, with a horror movie, I feel like it's the same kind of like, it's the adrenaline thing.
Yeah.
It's like the people that like skydive and shit. It's like that same thing, and it makes you realize like, oh, cool, I'm glad I'm not in that situation.
Yeah.
There's enough separation for it. I mean, like the first time you see something that is truly terrifying, you're like, oh my god, I'll never forget this. Like everyone has like, they're like, oh man, when I watched this movie, fucked me up. Now, like, if anything, you and I and Danny as well, like, I feel like we're like a horror movie adrenaline junkie. Like, I think part of why some of these horror movies don't hit us is because we're so used to watching them. It really has to stand out to us, and I mean that's part of why we try to do this art house horror month thing, because we're like, okay, let's do some of the headier horror movies, because we do watch a lot of garbage. So much fucking garbage. Yeah. And it's like, it really is just different floats for different boats. But I mean, like, that's kind of part of like our whole dynamic too. Like, I feel like you like more the campier stuff. Danny likes like dumpster diving. And I feel like I like just anything that's just really weird. Off. It's like, that's gonna be my like. Like Suspiria is one of my favorite movies, and that movie's a fucking nightmare. Like it. It just feels like you're tripping the whole time. And I feel like that's the kind of high that like I'm like trying to, like, I need that movie that's like so fucking bizarre and wild that's really gonna do it for me. And it's doing it for me.
Have you watched, what is it? My Mother's Eyes?
No.
Or whichever one I told you something about Mother and Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Eyes of My Mother. Fuck, I always mix it up. That goddamn dyslexia. I need you to watch that. I think it's right up your alley.
And then I'm gonna watch you like, Cass, what the fuck is this?
It's Eyes of My Mother.
That I want you to watch because I don't think you've seen it either, and I feel like it's up your alley as well. And it's A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. It's a artsier horror movie, but I really liked it, and there's a cat in it. So yeah, nothing happens to the cat. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay, good.
But yeah,
you've told me about this one.
Yeah, it reminds me of Rama.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's her vibe, is scaring children and being a vampire. And like, I could have definitely seen her do that. And skateboarding.
And skateboarding,
like this makes sense. So yeah, I guess shit, I got time tonight. I might as well. So
yeah, I'm gonna have 2 weeks off of work, so I might watch it then. I plan on playing video games though. as well. Anyway, shall we be done? Are we done with our thoughts on this movie?
We actually had a lot to say.
We did.
Honestly,
We did divert a little bit about other stuff, but that happens.
that's okay. From listening to other podcasts and stuff,
It happens.
I don't mind
Yeah.
when I divert, as long as I'm enjoying what they're talking about and they seem like they're
Mhm.
enjoying what they're talking about. I really don't care.
Yeah.
It's like the movie. It's like for us, I feel like it's the movie's the topic, and then we kind of just go off
Mhm.
from there. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I'm just glad we had something to say about this one because the last two movies we watched were like kind of boring.
Kind of boring. Yeah, they weren't our vibe. I mean, this one wasn't really our vibe either, but like someone
tried.
somewhere out there, it is their vibe, and
Go to therapy.
go to therapy.
If this is your vibe, go to therapy. And this is
Get therapy.
coming from someone that like martyrs. Go to therapy.
Mhm. Yeah, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We should watch Inside. That's another extreme French horror movie.
Yeah.
We should do a French month. Have we done that?
I don't know.
We should do that. Why not? France. If
Is
there's
that
anyone
is that why we
depressed
watched
and
Martyrs
scared,
though?
No, I think we just watched it because we heard it was fucked up.
Oh, I mean, we could do
Yeah.
another French month though.
There's so many French
Mhm.
horror movies.
Yeah,
We still have many countries to hit too. So
we do.
We'll just kind of go off.
Mhm.
Honestly, we're just gonna watch whatever the fuck we want to watch.
It's true.
Yeah.
Facts.
So yeah, we got one more in the pipeline for the
Mhm.
Art House Horror Month, and I know zero about this next one. I have no idea. So I'm hoping that we're gonna like it. I'm hoping that maybe
Oh,
this is the
yeah.
one that does it for us. But if
I
it's
don't
not,
know.
you'll know because that'll be next week's episode.
Yeah.
And if you want to check out the other episodes of the podcast, you should.
Mhm.
The thing that we see the most is downloads. I don't know why I can't see anything else, but that's just what I go off of. So we had like 150 downloads for past like 30 days. So thank you for. There was just someone that just downloaded every single episode. Like, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely check out all the other episodes. I know for this, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna pick the movies that I know. But honestly, like, check out the ones that for the movies that you don't know. We might talk about something that we actually did like Cannibal Apocalypse.
Mm-mm.
That one, we like that one. Cannibal Holocaust is the one that we were
Oh,
like,
that's
what
right.
the
That's
fuck?
right. Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how I felt. I still don't know. I'm still processing that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have recent horror movies. We got old horror movies. Kind of just pick whatever and just roll with it. So, but yeah, join us next week where we watch another art house horror movie. Anyway, maybe we'll have Danny here next week. Who's to say? But
Yeah.
until then, get the fuck out. Bye bye.
Get the fuck out.